What is up, everybody? It's your boys back again with another episode of Franchise Tag Fantasy Football Podcast. As always, please be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Go follow us on TikTok. We got some more content popping up daily over there as well. Today, guys, 10-team Superflex mock draft.
Every team's going to be stacked. All of them.
Are we excited? We expanded the bench or the rosters a little bit to make it where it would actually fill out full teams and have to think about our picks. Slightly. Because some teams are still going to be stacked.
Hey, Brennan. Hey, do you have any news for us?
I actually do. So Alvin Kamara finally got his suspension official. It's 3 games. So, news to the wise for the NFL players. Beat up somebody. Don't gamble. And
exactly, right?
Suspension. Yeah.
I have better news than that, or I guess more advice. Pay somebody to beat that man up.
It's also fair.
Just do that.
It's also a fair point.
I will say though
give me a
that
couple thousand, I'll do it.
Oh, Jesus.
We're already down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, Jesus. So Kamara's ADP right now, I think it just checked. It's at 64. I expect him to go in the 4th, 5th round. I expect him to be around that area. I think right around, I would say like after like the Joe Mixon, but right before Dameon Pierce is where I expect him to go in most drafts. I think, do you guys agree?
Yep.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So I think
we're going to find out right now.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll see where he actually ends up falling. So other bit of news is Eno Benjamin. He's a part of the torn Achilles club. He just did this in practice today. So Saints running back room is looking pretty solidified with Jameson Williams, Alvin Kamara, and then Kendre Miller. So
Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams. My apologies.
It's okay.
Yep.
We'll forgive you.
How dare you?
Light them up in the comments, guys. Light them up in the comments.
I'm so sorry.
Six Akage. How do you feel about not Jameson Williams, but Jamal Williams? How do you feel about him?
For 3 games, and then basically he'll be a touchdown vulture. I mean, I'm not sure because a lot of people were taking him and anticipating that Alvin Kamara's suspension would be like 6 games. So now it's a little on that dicey side. So I'm probably off of him. I probably won't. It's not even something I do for a 0 RB strategy so much more. So
I'd be taking the shot on Kendre and Miller like in the last pick of the draft and redraft for the back half of the year.
See, for me, I would be comfortable taking Jay Willie as my RB2 and a 0 RB. I really would. I think he's going to get enough points to keep you afloat in that category. And you really went 0 RB. You really did it. 7th round was when you were looking at our running backs,
Yeah, that's fair. Fair. Anything else for news and notes?
My Colts have signed Kenyon Drake, but positive news reported by Pat McAfee is that Jonathan Taylor and the Colts are officially talking. So hopefully his head's in the right direction. Hopefully he plays out this last bit of contract and we can have Jonathan Taylor back in the field and you guys can draft him comfortably and not be so insecure about drafting him.
Yeah, until next year, you got to find where his new team's going. And
it's the Chiefs.
That good stuff.
Can we get something in the comments? Can you guys let us know? Did you guys know Kenyon Drake was still in the league? Because I for sure didn't. That was news right there to me. I thought he was done. I thought he was.
He was in
done.
the Ravens last year. He got 500 yards last year with the Ravens and a couple tugs.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough. I didn't know.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. But all right, let's jump straight into this 10-team Superflex mock draft. How's that sound? Good with it?
Sounds wonderful.
Good with it. Perfect. Let's get going. I'll come over here. I'll start the draft. What is the roster construction in this one? 2 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 2 flex. That is the roster construction in this bad boy. Ray's at the 4. I'm at the 6. And Brennan is bringing us home at the back of the draft in the 10 spot. So
this is rigged. I don't like this.
I randomized it. I just randomized it. Let's start this draft and see how it goes. Josh Allen. Oh, excuse me. This is not my turn.
You're good. Hey, so the first team went Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. Exactly what we expect in most Superflex drafts to go. So now Ray gets to kind of start the real draft here and see what he does.
So I'm gonna go Jay Herbo. I'm gonna go Jay Herbert.
Okay.
That's interesting because you had a bet with me that Justin Fields would outscore Justin Herbert. So,
Hey, that's okay. Don't worry about all that. All right.
okay,
Don't
just
worry
want to
about that.
clarify. All right.
So I could take Joe Burrow, even though he's got the calf. I could take Lamar Jackson here. But I do think I'm going to stick with the niche pick because he typically goes at 4. Nope, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going Lamar Jackson. I lied. I want the rushing upside. I thought about it as I was about to say. I was about to say Burrow. I was like, nope. I want the upside of rushing.
All right. So Team 5 went Justin Jefferson. Aaron went Lamar. Team 7 went Joe Burrow. Team 8 took Christian McCaffrey. Team 9 took Travis Kelce. So I am on the board and I have 2 picks. So I need to take. I'm for sure going to take Jamar Chase. I want to solidify that wide receiver spot. And now I'm between Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. And I am just a little bit higher on Trevor Lawrence than I am Justin Fields. So I'm going to go with the Sweet Prince in Jacksonville down there. So following me, it went Austin Eckler, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and Aaron is back up on the board.
See, this is my problem. Do I just do basically a copy paste of the same player? Do I just get my quarterbacks done here?
I mean,
and continue on with the draft? That's what I'm saying.
I do.
So I do think after Justin Fields, though, that'll be, especially in Superflex, that's just setting me up for success, right? He could take a step forward as a passer, got some better offensive weapons with DJ Moore now, and he still has the rushing potential. So I'm just going to go ahead and take Justin Fields and get rid of my quarterback position and not have to worry about it till I need a late round veteran.
All right, fair enough. So let me ask you, who would you have taken besides Fields? Would you have taken Kupp?
I would have looked at Kupp. I would have looked at Amon-Ra. Saquon would be in that mix since his contract solidified. Bijan obviously would still be in that mix too. Okay. But I just feel like having that double up of potentially 2 top 10 quarterbacks that's
the way to go.
That. Yep.
All right, so Ray, you are on the clock here, so let us know what you're thinking.
So I was definitely hoping that Justin Fields would have fell back to me. I thought he was going to. I was like, oh, here we go. I'm going to stack this up. I can't lose in this bet now. But now that that's not happening, the quarterback tier list for me has really dropped off a cliff. Like the only name that I'm seeing that I would be comfortable with, like that I think I could maybe get some value out of would be Dak, because I feel like he's going to throw for 4,500 yards. But like I can wait and get a quarterback with similar value later in the draft, so I don't have to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get my champion, my I can't say that, but my dude. Let's say my dude. So we're gonna put a placeholder on that. Garrett Wilson.
Oh, okay.
Oh, alrighty. So with the surprise pick of Garrett Wilson, it went Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, AJ Brown, Jonathan Taylor, Deshaun Watson, and then CeeDee Lamb. So Ray, you are back on the clock.
That I am, and since this is a 3-receiver league, and I really need to solidify these receivers, I'm going to also go with one more name that I truly just have been a hype train conductor. It's going to be Amon-Ra, Saint, Sun God himself.
So, Ray, unfortunately.
Yeah, my apologies here. So Team 5 has all the wide receivers here. They took Devontae Adams following Ray. So, Aaron, you are back on the clock.
Ray took what I was hoping would be my contingency fallback plan, and then Team 5 took my break glass in case of emergency pick. So I'm looking here. Dak's next up on the ADP. I don't really want a third quarterback this early because that's just handicapping me. I could go Nick Chubb, who I do think could finish as fantasy RB1 this year, especially with all the hype of talk of him getting up to 50 receptions. So I might do that just to go ahead and have a solid RB1. But as Ray said, this is a 3-quarterback lead, so it might seem like I'm reaching a little bit here. But I'm going to take Jalen Waddle to at least get an upside wide receiver 1 on my team, or my wide receiver 1 for my team, even though he's the 2 in their offense.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point something out here, Aaron. This is the risk of taking a Justin Fields and stacking it that early. Yep. Is that now you have to, I wouldn't say pick up the scraps because Jalen Waddle ain't no slouch, but you get what I'm saying. Like you're now
where I gain points in quarterback, I lose for wide receiver 1.
Yes. So I just wanted to point that out to the people at home listening. You're looking at the draft. That's what's going on with Aaron's team right now.
This is true. Yeah, when you would take those back-to-back quarterbacks, you are now in a weird spot because now you're going to be trying to fill up the rest of the roster, but you're stacked a quarterback, which is the most important thing for Superflex. So following Aaron taking Waddle, I went Kirk Cousins, Nick Chubb, and Dak Prescott. So I'm on the clock. I have back-to-back picks, so I need to make sure that I solidify this and do it correctly. I don't think I'm going to do quarterback because next up is Tua. Following that's Daniel Jones, and I'm just not big on that. I'd rather have like Mark Andrews, a Derrick Henry, or potentially Chris Olave. So I'm going to solidify this. I'm going to go Mark Andrews. It's a tight end premium position. And then I'm also going to go Chris Olave. So that's my pick as well. Following that, Derrick Henry went Tua and now Pollard. So Aaron, you're back on the clock.
All right, here I can go Josh Jacobs, Brees Hall, T. Higgins, or Mondre, which is Brennan's guy. But I'm going to go just continuing the trend of great wide receiver twos. I'm going to go Devonta Smith here as my wide receiver. Right.
Alrighty. So following that, it went Josh Jacobs, just like you said, and now Ray's back on the clock.
I was hoping that I could have had a share of Devonta Smith right now. I really was. But since there's still one more receiver spot that I'd like to fill, and there's still premium value here, I'm definitely looking at a receiver. I can't say that anybody else stands out more to me than T. Higgy, but yeah, I'm gonna take T. Higgins.
All right. So following T. Higgins, it went Ramondre, Najee, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, Brees Hall, and T.J. Hawkinson. So Ray, you're back on the clock.
And I've really gone 0 RB on this one for sure. And that whole running back grouping kind of hurts me a little bit. But I'm going to take a guy that I'm comfortable with having as my RB1 in this kind of situation. Maybe you guys have a little different feeling about this, but I like Aaron Jones this season. I feel like he's going to get a lot of work. And to get him this little bit late in the draft, kind of like that. So I'm going to take Aaron Jones.
All right. Awesome. Is there a little bit of Packers bias in that or no?
Yes.
All right.
Kind
of. Enough. So Daniel Jones goes and Aaron's back on the clock.
Hey, Ray is so wrong here. I'm going the guy that I've been taking a lot because I do think he's being slept on. He's still the wide receiver one in that offense. He is a gigantic man. Taking DK Metcalf.
He's a very strong man.
My 3 wide receivers are now filled out, which I'm happy with that. Going back-to-back quarterback and now being able to have Waddle Smith and DK as my first 3 wide receivers, I'm okay with that.
Alrighty. So following DK went Keenan Allen, Geno Smith, and then my boy Anthony Richardson. So now I am on the clock, and I do need to fill my second quarterback spot. I do need to fill my running back spot. So it's a little interesting for me. I am actually going to stack it. I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence with Travis Etienne, and then I'm going to take Jared Goff for Aaron Rodgers as my second quarterback. I like that offense a lot. I think it's going to be very high scoring. So that's what I'm hoping for.
He didn't give Ray what he wanted. So happy
I can't believe it.
Sorry, Ray. So following that went J.K. Dobbins, DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, and Aaron's back in the clock.
All right. So at this point in time, I am going to take a running back. I don't think I can let this guy fall any further, and I do not think that I'm going to get anyone with this much upside potential in the next few rounds coming back because Ray is still in front of me as well, and Ray still needs a couple running backs to help fill out his roster. So I'm going to take Joe Mixon here as my RB1 for my team.
Ooh, Alvin Kamara that way.
Alvin Kamara just follows him. So Ray is back on the clock.
All right. So I was really hoping I would get Jared Goff right there. I really was. And I'm kind of shocked that you took him, but I think that you saw that I'm going to get one of the 2 stacks. So I'm going to go ahead and take Aaron Rodgers here to stack him with Garrett Wilson and just collect that sweet, sweet double up points.
Not a bad pick there. So following Mr. Rodgers went Amari Cooper, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Danger Russ himself, George Kittle, and Jerry Jeudy, and Ray is back on the clock.
All right, so I've committed fully to punting the tight end position 100% completely. I don't know if you guys know about that, but I'm 100% punting it. So what I'm thinking here is I have to pick between Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift. That's the true pick, right?
Okay.
I don't know which one I like a little more, but I feel like Swift he's in a better offense and he's got more upside to him. I'm going to go with Swift on it right here, and I feel like I'm going to kind of regret it, but I'm going to go Swift here.
Okay, and then Kyle Pitts. That's who I was looking at there. That's rough.
So you're back on the clock here, Aaron.
I know. I'm looking. I could go ahead and go running back. I was looking at Kyle Pitts there, but he unfortunately got taken one pick right before me. I don't really want Dallas Goedert, especially because I have Devonta Smith. I could go Miles Sanders, Cam Akers, but I could go DJ Moore and stack him with Justin Fields in case it just turns into an amazing year for him. But I'm going to take the number one target in an offense, and it's going to help me just go ahead and lock in my tight end position. Then I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to take Darren Waller right here.
Oh, nice. All right. So following Mr. Waller went Drake London, Damian Pierce, and Cam Akers, and I am on the clock here. So I am for sure not going to take Dallas Goedert since I already have Mark Andrews. But I do like Miles Sanders a lot this year, and I have no problem taking him there. So now I need to take a wide receiver here. Only problem is that I do like DJ Moore, but I do like the upside of Christian Watson. I'm probably out on Michael Pittman. There is Brandon Ayuk, which is, I know Ray's pondering the thought of taking him as well, as long with Aaron. Man, this is tough. Because this is the back end term. Near in the spot, you need to reach for somebody that you really, really like. But you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to just take DJ Moore. I think I like him with the offense in Chicago this year. So following that, it went Christian Watson, Chris Godwin, and Dallas Goedert. And so Aaron is back on the clock.
I'm surprised you didn't take Christian Kirk there.
No, I don't really necessarily want to stack too much in redraft, but it was a possibility. But I do like DJ Moore just a little bit more than Christian Kirk.
Okay, I feel that. I am going to go ahead and get my RB2 here to go ahead and fill out this second running back spot that I need. I'm going to go ahead and take the new guy in town who should hopefully be the 3-down back there. I'm taking Alexander Madison right here in the, 7th round?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Brandon Ayuk follows, and then Ray is back on the clock.
I'm still not sure why Javonte is falling so far right now, but I'm definitely going to take a shot on him. Fill out my running back room and be done with that position for a little bit. Taking Javonte Williams.
Yeah, that's a good pick. So following that went Michael Pittman, James Conner, Mike Dubs, Hollywood Brown, Christian Kirk, and then Dalvin Cook, and Ray's back in the clock.
All right, so the punting of the tight end position is just going to continue, I think. There's two names that I really like that are still there, and I could see myself going that way, but I'd like to get a little more depth at receiver before I'd go and take a shot on a tight end that gets me 4 points a week. And there's one name that just is still sitting there, and I'm surprised that somebody didn't take him just to spite me. So JSN, he's coming home.
Okay, I feel that. Let's see here. I kind of wish I would have went wide receiver there instead, because now there are still some late round running backs that I do like. You know what? I haven't taken him hardly at all this year. I'm going to reach just a little bit for him per the ADP board, but I'm going to take Deontay Johnson here. It's one of my flex spots.
So following that went Isaiah Pacheco, Rashad White, and then Treylon Burks, and I am on the clock here, so I have a bunch of quarterbacks available, which when I just looked at my quarterback room, I made a boo-boo. Both of them have a bye week in the same week. So, yeah, I did not realize that. That's my bad on that. But you know what? I got to adapt here. So I will be taking probably one of the quarterbacks here. I'm going to take Mr. Jordan Love to fill out someone on my bench.
You know what's funny? Look at my quarterbacks. Same occurrence.
Oh,
yeah. Didn't notice either. So thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm here for. And then following that, I'm going to take James Cook. I'm going to reach a little bit for him, but I think the upside, I'm going to follow the camp hype. I'm a believer. So after that, it went Tyler Lockett, Kadarius Toney, and then David Montgomery, and Aaron is back on the clock.
You know what, man? Since you brought that to my attention, and since I know he's not going to play the first probably 4 to 6 games of the season this year.
I know who you're talking about.
And he's falling because of the injury, and that offense looks so putrid. But when he comes back, he will be good. And guess what? I don't have to play him until week 13. I'm taking Kyler Murray. So my boo-boo turned out to be my benefit.
So Mike Evans follows, and Ray is back on the clock.
All right. Well, again, I'm kind of shocked. But I guess I'm not shocked because you went Deontay instead. I was assuming George Pickens was not coming back to me, and definitely taking NFL young boy himself, George Pickens.
NFL young boy himself.
So Bryce Young goes, and then Jahan Dotson, Evan Ingram, and Freiermuth as back-to-back tight ends for the team one. David Njoku, and then Jordan Addison, and Ray is back in the clock.
Ray wanted one of either Freiermuth or Njoku.
Any of the three would have been fine. Like any of them. Like why?
Made sure that you were really punting on tight end.
Oh yeah, now I'm very much so completely off a tight end. Taking a look at maybe a third quarterback right now, but the only name that kind of stands out is Matt Stafford. I really don't want a whole lot of the Rams offense, especially if Cooper Kupp's going to miss some time. Really don't want some of that offense. The receivers left right now, I know that Gabe Davis is getting a lot of hype. I'm still not a believer in Gabe Davis until I actually see him do it more than 1 week in a season. Brandon Cooks is there. He should have good volume. Quentin Johnson's there, and I kind of really believe the hype because we're seeing it. But looking over at the running back, I know that you guys are super high on this guy. I'm going to take Antonio Gibson. I'm going to take him.
Good pick. So following that, Quentin Johnson goes, and then now Aaron is back on the clock.
It's crazy how Ray just has filled out his running back so quickly with a lot of running backs that I would like to back. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and play the ADP game and take a gamble here. I do need another running back. I do think that I can get away with holding on because let's see, Madison has a bye week in week 13, and Mixon has week 7. I'm gonna take the rookie Zach Charbonnet. See what happens.
Alrighty. So following that, it went Juju, Samaje P. Ryan, and then Michael Thomas, and I am on the clock here. So I am looking at this wonderful positions here. I probably need another wide receiver, so I am going to take Brandon Cooks. I do like that opportunities in that offense. And then following this, I am also going to take a gamble. I can wait a little bit since I do have a nice little stack in my wide receiver room. I'm going to take Jameson Williams. I'm going to wait this out for suspension, but I hope the hype is real. So following that went Gabe Davis, AJ Dillon, and then Chigakonkwo. And Aaron, you're back on the clock.
If you weren't going to take him there, I was going to. So
fair enough.
That's how that one worked out for me, which it's not too bad. I will take at this pick. Let's see here. I'm pretty solid. I got 4 wide receivers, 3 running backs, a tight end, 3 quarterbacks that double up on quarterback or the triple up on quarterbacks that kind of hurt me. I'm going to take one more receiver here, and I'm going to roll the dice on running backs later in the draft. I'm going to take Elijah Moore right here to kind of bolster that wide receiver just a little bit more.
And then another tight end goes.
That was a pick that was completely spiteful, Aaron. 100% spite.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It felt like it was. All right, so I was going to go Elijah Moore right there. I was really hoping he would come back to me, and then I was going to turn around and grab my third quarterback and be done with it. But for what we're seeing left on the board and what I have currently as my running backs, I could be in some serious trouble there. I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead, roll the dice, hope that my running backs are good enough. I'm going to take Odell here, if I can get it to click. And I'm rolling the dice to hope that a quarterback falls to me right now.
Well, following that, went Khalil Herbert, Brian Robinson, Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers. So all the Baltimore wide receivers have gone. Rashad Penny, Cole Kmet, and you are back on the clock, Ray, with still no tight end.
I'm still not going to have a tight end. I completely got rid of that position. Doesn't exist to me anymore. They're all just the same to me.
So I do want to point out we're in the 13th round of the Superflex. Matt Stafford, Kenny Pickett, CJ Stroud, Sam Howell, Brock Purdy, Mac Jones. I'm not even going to say his name. Jimmy Garoppolo and Desmond Ridder are still on the board at quarterback. The name I didn't say was Trey Lance because he's still there too, but he's dead. He's not viable at all.
It's funny that you say that because I'm going to take Brock Purdy right here. I was hoping he would fall back to me. I'm going to take him. And that's going to be my quarterbacks for the season.
All right. Devin A. Chain follows, and now Aaron is back on the clock.
Let's see what I need here team-wise. I could use another running. I really could. Let's be real with that. So let's go in here. I could take Jamal Williams. I could take Damian Harris. But I'm going to take who I think has good receiving upside potential, and I'm going to take Jerick McKinnon here as my 4th running back for that. This is full point PPR. I don't know if we said that. But to kind of help.
You scared me a little when you said receiving upside and you said Jerick McKinnon. I was like, oh, okay, good. But following that went Alan Lazard, Greg Dulcich, and then Jamal Williams. I am on the clock here, so I am now just a gambling man. I'm going to take all of the upside players here. I'm going to take the potential of hopefully what could be Patrick Mahomes' wide receiver one option, Sky Moore. And then following that, let's see here. I'm going to go through this running back list, and I'm going to take potentially the RB1 in Chicago, which is Deonta Foreman. So gambling man here. So following that, it went Cortland Sutton, Don Kincaid, and then Tyler Algier, and Aaron is back in the clock.
I'm going to take what I perceive to be a PPR machine. Like you were just talking about, gambling man, nothing but upside. Hopefully he'll be a PPR machine in this offense. I'm going to take Romeo Dobbs.
There you go. So following with Damian Harris, and Ray is back in the clock.
All right, so it's time to finally take a tight end. It's time to finally take one. And I only see one name right here that I think could potentially be a tight end one. Really, if I could get it to just line up, sometimes it really tests my patience, guys. I'm going to go Michael Mayer. They have done nothing to make me believe that there's going to be anything else playing tight end for their whole room. So I'm going to go tight end here. I'm going to go Michael Mayer.
So let me ask you, why would you go with him over someone like Tyler Higbee or even who was the other tight end? Sam Laporta.
Tyler Higbee has burnt me before, and I don't want any part of the Rams offense whatsoever. And Michael Mayer was drafted to be the dude. He was the guy in college.
Cooper's in front of him. Las Vegas now.
Yeah. So following Mr. Michael Mayer, it went Adam Thielen, Tyler Boyd, Elijah Mitchell, Kendre Miller, Jacoby Myers, Tank Bigsby, Ray's boy, and Ray's back in the clock.
So Tank went right before Ray could pick him. That's why Ray gives that reaction. But I want to go back to your tight end pick really quick. Ray, why didn't you go with someone like Gerald Everett too for Herbert?
Also hate Gerald Everett.
Okay.
Also hate him.
Good answer.
He's never produced. He's never been what you wanted him to be, and I don't think he's ever going to be anything you want him to be. So I'm just completely off of that. I'm looking around at the receivers right now, and I know that I have a lot of rookies and second-year players, and I'm going to continue that trend. I'm going to go Rashee Rice and hope that there's something there.
Awesome. All right. So Mostert went, and now it is Aaron on the clock.
Is that the first Miami running back?
No, because A-Chain went. The same team took A-Chain.
Well, not a bad strategy, I guess, but I would do it. I'm going to take the number 2 in an offense where I was talking about their number 1 wide receiver earlier, who just came over in a trade for number 1 pick. Darnell Mooney, I do not think can do it when he is thrust into the number 1 role, but now that he's going to be the number 2, I'm going to take that late round shot to see if it will help me with a little stack of Justin.
Alrighty, so following that, it went Devin Singletary, Rondell Moore, Tyler Higbee, and I am on the clock here, and I'm going to take a gamble on taking Houston's number 1 target leader in Nico Collins, and that ends our draft.
I think so. I want to talk about that real quick. Everyone's taking Nico Collins. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about John Mechie? I mean, coming out of Alabama, he was supposed to be the next.
I think any of the guys there could be it. We literally could see any one of them. Tank Dell could be the leading receiver in targets. We don't know because we just don't know what CJ Stroud's going to do, what he's going to lean on. But Nico Collins was viable as a fantasy player when Daddy Longneck was the quarterback and Davis Mills. So I mean,
called Davis Mills a spider. Oh no, that's long legs. Excuse me, Daddy Longneck. Jeez, please.
So I'm going to take a gamble on he's played through terrible quarterbacks. So if CJ Stroud's even just a little better, he should be better. So that's my thought process with it.
That's fair. I do want to talk about, we all only took 3 quarterbacks. I'm not taking a 4th quarterback in a Superflex because I want that premium position of a skill player, and I'll stream one whatever week I need to stream one.
And it's 10 teams, so most teams usually take 3. There's still someone out there, yeah. But we can go over our teams here. Sorry about that. What did you going to say, Ray?
You can go ahead and see on the draft board as well that outside of us, really, the computer teams did not take 3. So just something to think about.
And I think most people will, in like actual home leagues, will take a 3rd quarterback just so they can have on the bench.
Just to kind of keep that in your mind, that I think that when you get to your home drafts, these super flex leagues, you're for sure going to need to take a 3rd because that pool dries up really fast. When
you're looking at, sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead. You're going to say the same thing I'm about to say. Go ahead.
You're looking at Matt Stafford, Kenny Pickett, CJ Stroud, Sam Howell, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, Desmond Ritter, Ryan Tannehill, Baker Mayfield. That's kind of the last little bit of quarterbacks that have starting roles outside of Trey Lance. Because after that, you're looking at Colt McCoy, Jacoby Brissett, Kyle Trask. Like it gets thinned out real quick towards the end. But if you want to stream it, you're just gonna have to wait.
Yeah. So for the teams, though, I took my first. So Trevor Lawrence, my running backs are Travis Etienne, Miles Sanders. My wide receivers are Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, DJ Moore. My tight end is Mark Andrews. My 2 flex spots are James Cook, Brandon Cooks. My super flex is Jared Goff. My bench goes Jordan Love, Jamison Williams, Sky Moore, Deontay Foreman, and Nico Collins.
All right. So my 2 quarterbacks are Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields. Running backs are Joe Mixon, Alexander Madison. I've got Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, DK at my starting 3 receivers. My tight end is Darren Waller. My 2 flex would be Deontay Johnson and Elijah Moore. Then on the bench, I have Kyler Murray, Zach Charbonnet, Jerick McKinnon, Romeo Doubs, and Darnell Mooney.
Yep. So my team's looking like Justin Herbert, Justin Sherbet, and Aaron Rodgers is my starting quarterbacks for the Superflex. My receivers are Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, T. Higgy himself, and my bench on that position would be looking like Jackson Smith and Jigba, George Pickens, Odell Beckham Jr., and Rashee Rice. My running backs are Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, Javonte Williams, Antonio Gibson, and my tight end is Michael Mayer, and my backup quarterback is Brock Purdy.
So that should pretty much be it for this 10-team Superflex mock draft. Please be sure, guys, to let us know in the comments down below who you think has the best team, even if it's a computer. Or you can also say, that's not how you draft a Superflex, and not give any context of what you're even talking about. So, anything else on that one?
No.
No? Okay, perfect. Perfect. I'm glad. So, as always, guys, please be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, even if it's negative, and even if you provide no context, and subscribe to the channel. Go check us out on TikTok. We'll be posting content there daily, especially as we ramp up to the season. But until next time, see you